welcome to Live Bird TV. So the Champions League this season is going to be really different, but I quite like it. I've just before I go live now, I've just looked at the format and I actually really like it. I think it's going to be fabulous to watch this year. So let me know what you think about it. So here it is. So the new format for the Champions League, everything you need to know. The 2024-25 edition of the UEFA Champions League will follow a new format. We explain what will change, what will stay the same, and what it means for fans and how it impacts on UEFA's other club competitions. So there is a reason that European football is one of the world's most successful and popular sports. It never stands still. Since its inaugural competition, known as the European Champions Clubs Cup, kicked off in 1955, UEFA have continuously evolved and adapted the UEFA Champions League to keep pace with wider changes in the game. To ensure the 2024-25 format will deliver the best for clubs, players and fans, UEFA based its design on extensive consultations with key stakeholders in the European football community. The final format, access list and calendar for the club competitions was approved on the 10th of May 2022, further to UEFA's decision on the 19th of April 2021 to introduce a new competition system. UEFA has clearly shown that we are fully committed to respecting the fundamental values of the sport, to defending the key principles of open competitions with qualification based on sporting merit, fully in line with the values and solidarity based on European sports model. UEFA President Alexander Seferin, I am really pleased that it was a unanimous decision of the UEFA Executive Committee, which the European Club Association, European Leagues and National Associations all agreed with the proposal. Another proof that European football is more united than ever. So that's the boring bit out of the way. Here's the interesting bit of how it changes from this season. The pivotal change in the reforms announced by UEFA's Executive Committee is the departure from the current format's group stage system. The present Champions League group stage includes 32 participants divided into 8 groups of 4. From 2024-25, 36 clubs will participate in the Champions League phase, in brackets former group stage, giving 4 more sides the opportunity to compete against the best clubs in Europe. Those 36 clubs will participate in a single league competition in which all of the 36 clubs are ranked together. Under the new format, teams will play 8 matches in a new league phase, which used to be a group stage. They will no longer play 3 opponents twice, home and away, but will instead face fixtures against 8 different teams. Now, I'm just going to stop here. That's the bit I love. So when you'd get a group, say you'd have Bordeaux and you had Inter Milan, or say you had Maccabi Tel Aviv, something like that. I've just named 3 random teams there. But again, you'd play them twice, so you'd have to go away to them. I love the fact that not only is there 8 games now instead of 6, but they're all against 8 different teams. So you're going to get 4 draws away and 4 draws at home against 8 different sides. Love that. So I'll carry on here. So to determine the 8 different opponents, the teams will initially be ranked into 4 seeding pots. Each team will then be drawn to play 2 opponents from each of these pots, playing 1 match against a team from each pot at home and away. This gives the opportunity for clubs to test themselves against a wider range of opponents and raises the prospect for fans of seeing the top teams go head to head more often and earlier in the competition. It will also result in more competitive matches for every club across the board. How will 4 extra Champions League group stage spots be allocated? Well, qualification for the Champions League will continue to be open and depend on a club's final position in the previous season's domestic league, combined with each association's position in the association club coefficient ranking. The basis of the access list will remain the same as for current season, and additional 4 slots will be available in 24-25 will be allocated as follows. Slot 1. This place will go to the club ranked 3rd in the championship of the association and 5th position in the access list, which is determined by UEFA Association Club Coefficient Ranking. Slot 2. This place will be awarded to a domestic champion by extending from 4 to 5 the number of clubs qualifying the champion's path of the competition's qualifying process, which will consist of 4 qualifying rounds. Slot 3 and 4, these places will go to the associations with the best collective performance by their clubs in previous seasons, i.e. the association's club coefficients from the previous season, which is based on the total number of club coefficient points obtained by each club from the associations divided by the number of participating clubs from that association. So that's a little bit technical, all that bit can be a little bit boring. But how will teams reach the Champions League knockout phase, and will the format knockout phase change? It goes on to say the results of each match will decide the overall ranking in the new league, which 3 points for a win and 1 for a draw still applying. The top 8 sides in the league, so the top 8, will qualify automatically for the round of 16, while the teams that finish from 9th to 24th will compete in 2 legs knockout phase playoffs to secure their path to the last 16. Teams that finish 25th and lower will be eliminated, with no access to the Europa League. The new format, with all the teams ranked together in a single league, will mean there is more to play for all the way through to the final night of the league phase. In the knockout phase, the teams that finish 9th and 16th, 9th to 16th, will be seeded in the knockout phase playoff draw, meaning they will face a team placed between 17th to 24th, with in principle the return leg at home. The 8 clubs which prevail into the knockout phase playoffs will then progress to the round of 16, where they will each face one of the top 8 finishers who will be seeded in the round of 16. To strengthen the synergy between the league and the knockout phases, and to provide more sporting incentive during the league phase, the pairings of the knockout phase will also partly determined by the league's phase rankings, with a draw which likewise determines and lays out the route for the teams to the final. From the rounds of 16 onwards, the competition will continue to follow its existing format of knockout rounds leading to the final at a neutral venue selected. All the games before the final will continue to be played in midweek, recognising the importance of domestic calendar across Europe, while the final will continue to be played on a Saturday. So there you go. That's my video for basically, the new Champions League format, and let me know your thoughts on it. You'll never walk alone.